Hey everyone, welcome back to the Half Soybean channel. My name is Sharon and it has been a while since I have made a video, but as you can see, I'm in a new environment. I actually just moved out, and so today's video is actually the first episode of House Soybean, and it is going to be the series where I kind of makeover my apartment. And today I will be sharing with you how I reupholstered this couch that I found on Facebook Marketplace for $30. I have to say that I was actually quite disappointed the state of the couch when it arrived to me, because I expected it half to be in better condition. So if I had bought it without the intention of reupholstering this couch, I think I would have been like really upset. I kind of felt misled about this, and I don't know. Anyway, that's in the past. The first thing I'm going to do is take this couch out to my balcony out there, and I'm going to seam rip all the little seams and get the original pieces so I can make the same pattern in my new fabric. It was kind of an absolute struggle to get this couch outside by myself, but I was super determined to see it through. My arms were actually so sore for at least the next 2 days after lugging this couch in and out of my apartment, as well as lifting it up and down to do all sorts of things to it. I'm really lucky that I have this huge balcony space, because it means that I can do a lot of projects out there, including any sewing projects that use fabrics that are a little bit too dusty to be indoors, or it sheds a lot, like faux furs. I very much feel like I would have kept the original couch because I think it is kind of a vibe, but it does have quite a bit of damage on the pleather, so I think it definitely needs a reupholster. And yeah, like now that my place is a little bit done, I feel like I would have really kept it if it was in good condition, but unfortunately it is not. It does kind of look like a piece of sushi, and it also reminds me of when you squeeze out toothpaste and there's like a red strip in there as well. The first thing that I attempted to do was to take the legs off. I mean, of course that should be the first step, but unfortunately I had an array of issues, being a combination of my screwdriver potentially being the wrong size, and my weak hands, or the screws just being really stuck in there, and I would have needed a drill to get them out. Anyway, I had to give up on taking the legs off because there was just no way I could do it without breaking my hands or buying a drill, which wasn't part of my budget, so I just had to work around them. I didn't own anything that was appropriate for taking out these massive staples, and I kind of wish I had gotten a staple remover. The only solution I had was to cut around them with my fabric shears. Warning, don't do that, because I absolutely damaged both of my scissors doing this. And after about an hour, I was able to get most of the pleather off of it. I keep saying this, but the pleather was disintegrating so much. It was like crumbling and flaking everywhere. The inside foam was in immaculate condition, and it was so clean. There was no damage at all, which I was very happy about. There was also all this extra stuffing in there, which I didn't know how to reassemble when it came time for me to put the new cover on it, so I kind of just left it aside. I am freaking exhausted, but yeah, look. And then all the covers are here. I have to figure out the, what do you call it? The pattern. Here you are able to see all of the pieces, and they are some really peculiar shapes, and I probably wouldn't be able to do this project if I hadn't ripped all of the pleather off of it. You know, there was just no way that I would have been able to guess this pattern just by measuring over the couch superficially. I also sprayed the legs matte black because I honestly just don't love chrome. And I sprayed one leg and turned off my camera for a moment, and it was a disaster because the couch came tumbling forward. It was really hard to balance on its side, and I accidentally grabbed it by the wet leg that I had just painted, so my palm just had black paint on it the whole day. I was able to make over this couch for about $150, and actually the biggest chunk of that budget is actually the delivery, and I had to air tasker it to my place because nobody else that I knew had a car that could fit a couch of this size, even though it's not that big at all. And so that cost me about $70. Couch cost me $30. I mean, it was listed for $100. I think that being able to recreate this couch for $150 is a massive steal, because these types of boucle furniture couches, these goes for thousands of dollars usually. Anyway, I got 3 meters of this teddy fabric, so it wasn't like actual boucle or anything, but it's actually the exact same material that I used for my teddy jacket tutorial, and I remembered that I enjoyed sewing with it a lot, which is why I opted to get this fabric instead of getting upholstery fabric, because they do have kind of teddy textured upholstery fabric around as well, but that might have been a better choice long term, but I am happy with the choice I made now. And the fabric I chose does have some stretch to it, so I figured that would help me save time, so I didn't have to put the zips in it like the original pleather had. I had to bring all the pieces inside to trace onto the fabric, but the leather bits were honestly so crumbly. There was white flakes all over my rug, and it was such a mess, and you'll be able to see the white flakes in some shots actually. Basically, I traced around all the pieces, but I gave it ample seam allowance, quite more than I would usually give if I was making clothes. Like, I put about 1 inch of seam allowance because I was scared that it would turn out too small, and if it's too small then I wouldn't have any more fabric to work with, but if it was too big I could always size down. It was also kind of a struggle to cut because I had ruined both my scissors. They were so blunt. I really need new fabric shears, so if you have suggestions on good brands, please let me know, because I need some new ones and I would like them if they are really, really sharp, not the ones that go blunt really fast. But anyway, I had to lay it all out before I sewed everything together because I really couldn't do the mental gymnastics of all these curvy shapes, and I didn't want to sew something wrong and then have to go back and seam rip and waste time. I knew that I just had to get it right the first go, so luckily I didn't make any mistakes sewing anything this time, which is rare for me. So I just finished like the seating area, sewing up the seating part of it, and it looks so good. I'm so proud of myself. It looks amazing. Let me just show you a quick preview. Obviously I haven't done the top part yet, but look, it fits perfectly, and I just need to staple it down later. I'm gonna take it off again because I have to connect it to the top part anyway, but look, it's absolutely perfect. Super exciting. The sun is setting, so I need to work quick, but I just finished sewing all my fabric together. I feel like the hardest part of the project was definitely ripping the old fabric off the thing, especially because I didn't have a staple remover thing, and I think I kind of ruined 2 pairs of scissors trying to use them to take all the I didn't even take all the old staples out, but you know. Anyway, I'm gonna try and fit this over the couch now, and then I'm gonna staple it down. And I have one more thing I want to do, which is make a cushion, but that will come later. let's go and try and fit this on the couch. Yay! So as I mentioned before, there was quite a bit of fluffy stuff that came out of the couch, and I just couldn't figure out how to put them back into the couch without it looking super lumpy with my new fabric. And I think it's because it's so much thinner than the original pleather covering, which kind of compressed everything together. I kind of gave up on that, but pretty much I gave it a really good shuffle here and there and fit the cover on top of the couch, and it took a bit of adjusting, but I got there in the end. I got my staple gun out and just began stapling down the fabric onto the wood, and I just went around the legs, but yeah, it would have been much more satisfying if I had been able to get them off. So after all that, I was so exhausted and I couldn't get back to the couch, but a few days had passed and I decided to make the cushions, which is in a really exciting ball shape. I saw these cute ball cushions online, and I'll leave a pattern in my description box, but I ended up making a large one and a medium-sized one, but you can actually manipulate the size to get any ball size you want. So we kind of want to make a flattened sphere net situation. So you just sew right sides together and you keep adding them on to the open side, and when you get to the final edge of closing it up, sew as you would, but just leave a small gap at the very end so you can flip it right way out. I used some recycled stuffing that I had in one of my old cushions and put them into my ball cushions, and I hand sewed the remaining open edge. It has been a couple of days since I've been able to work on this couch, but it's pretty much done. I've got my entire couch wrapped in the teddy fabric, and I've also got my 2 ball cushions, and they're so cute. I love how they turned out. The last thing I have to do is put a black fabric on the base of the couch. There is a technical name for it, but I'm not really sure what it is. But I've just got off work, and that's all I have left to do, and the couch will be finally done. I am in for a ride if this thing tips, because got the whole plant stand behind this, but I think it's gonna balance. I'm a little bit concerned, but I don't have anyone else to help me right now. So I grabbed 2 meters of this black fabric. You know, it's like EnviroCloth or like calico, I think, at Spotlight, but I'm just going to really staple this on, and then I'll cut it out to shape afterwards. It would have really been a good thing if I had, what is it, a drill, electric drill screwdriver thing to take out the legs, but it's not the end of the world because really no one's looking at the bottom of the chair. But yeah, it would have been helpful. So when the couch originally came to me, the dust cover was actually turning to dust as I touched it. I don't know how to describe it, but it was actually just turning to powder the moment I put my hands on it. So that's why there's no dust cover when I originally flipped over the couch, as you would have seen in the first half of the video. And I definitely could have made the dust cover a bit more taut. Like, is that how you say it? Like tighter? But I was just a little bit timid with it. But I think it still turned out decent. And all I did was staple around the oval circumference, and then I just had to cut to shape, and no hemming was required as the dust cover fabric does not fray. Anyway, that completes my first upholstery project ever, and I'm so incredibly happy with it, and I'm so proud of myself for attempting something that is a little bit different from my usual projects. I think the ball cushions are just so adorable, and I think they add a really nice touch to this what do you call it, like organic shaped couch. I also think the black legs elevated the look a little bit more, just a little bit classier in my opinion. And I think I'm gonna keep this couch forever with all the work I put into it, and it's really so dear to me. When I saw this couch on Facebook Marketplace, I immediately thought that this was calling for a boucle moment. And actually, I've never upholstered anything before in my life, so I didn't really know how this would turn out. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. I hope you enjoyed me taking on such a different project, and I will see you very soon in the next video.